This short presentation concerns itself with blocks. They still seem to be a part of most early childhood classrooms. Your book addresses woodworking. Unfortunately, few centers have the staff and/or the expertise to have woodworking. Little history. Carolyn Pratt is one of the grandmothers of early childhood education. She focused on studying children directly, watching what they said and did. She wrote a book titled I Learn from Children, a radical concept back then. Children were expected to be seen and not heard, and most people believed that children knew absolutely nothing. Miss Pratt was intrigued with the concept of engaging children in open-ended play and open-ended equipment. Her most lasting contribution to our field was the development and design of the unit block. She had them made out of natural wood in various three-dimensional shapes and mathematically precise. Now, the next time you're in a block corner, you will see that the standard unit block is half the size of the next size block, 1/4 of the next size, and so on and so on. Each block is a fraction of the next one. Quite ingenious when you think about it. She also created wooden people representing families and community helpers. Research has continually proven the benefit of these open-ended materials. There are specific stages of block play. If you have young children in your room, you may find that they just carry them around or use them as props in other areas of the room. We had baby carriages in our dramatic play area in our toddler room, and the blocks were always taking a ride. Some teachers tell children that the blocks need to stay in the block area. Lifting and carrying provides a wealth of information to the young child. They're getting an idea of heavy, how many they can carry, and the best way to position them. It only takes one child to realize if he or she stacks them on top of each other, they can climb higher and reach things on the top shelf. This is all it takes sometimes for initial building to take place. Usually beginning block building has no goal. Children just enjoy stacking or even lining them up. Teachers can certainly scaffold and talk about the different sizes and balancing. There are a list of children's block building books at the end of the chapter. These often can encourage children to build with purpose. Once children begin building with purpose, you will see bridges and enclosures. They often aren't successful in the beginning, but once a child has figured out the physics, yes, I said physics, they become expert bridge builders and fence builders and towers with rooms and all sorts of neat kinds of things. You never need to ask what a child is building. If they have a plan, they will tell you. If possible, leave the fabulous structures up, at least for the parents to view them. Remember, famous engineers and scientists played with blocks when they were small. Always, always, always take a picture. These can be displayed like the children's artwork. These are tips for setting up a block center in your classroom. You need a good location, usually a corner of the room bordered by shelves. Make sure there's plenty of room for a couple of children to build together. The block center can be near the housekeeping or dramatic play area, but should be as far away from the quiet area as possible. The blocks should be displayed on low, wide shelves that give children easy access. Make sure the shelves are sturdy and that they do not fall over easily. If possible, provide the block center with a rug as children will be working on the floor. Place the non-block toys in containers on the shelves or on the floor where the children can reach them easily. Ideally, provide at least 40 to 60 unit blocks for each child allowed in the block area at the same time. If you don't have that many blocks, build your collection slowly by adding new blocks each year or consider sharing block sets between classrooms. Unit blocks are very, very expensive. Adding toys to the block area. You may choose to provide certain toys in the block center. Choose toys that are made of wood, plastic, or even heavy cardboard. Do not provide small pieces that young children can choke on or stick in various parts of their body, like ears and nose. Child care providers should make sure that the blocks and toys have no sharp edges. And you can see a list here of some of the toys that seem to work very well in the block center. Block play supports children's development. Block play enhances young children's development across several different domains. Look for the following skills as children interact with blocks. Physical development, infants and toddlers when using blocks are practicing their grasping and hand manipulation skills. Preschoolers and school-age children can refine their gross motor and fine motor skills by building complex structures that require balance, a steady hand, and good eye-hand coordination. Cognitive skills. Children working with blocks have a chance to use their ideas to produce real structures. Building complex block structures requires children to use a variety of math concepts: size, shape, number, order, area, length, pattern, and weight. Children can also practice comparison, measurement, and classification, among other essential thinking skills. Language development. This is an ideal place for children to practice new vocabulary by using words to describe types of buildings, shapes, and structures. When planning a structure together, children must use their verbal communication skills. Child care providers can certainly enhance language skills in the block area by using these new vocabulary words, encouraging children to describe their structures and their building process, and then encouraging children to write stories about the structures they've created. Social emotional skills. When working together in the block area, children begin to practice negotiation. They get experience following rules, sharing ideas and insights, and looking at the world from the points of view of others. Understanding the teacher's role. Teachers can support children's play in the block center by talking to them about what they are building. Be sure to focus on the process of building, not the final product. Child care providers should comment on block choice, arrangement, number, similarity, or any special design features that a child has used. And these are some of the skills that you would use: observing children, providing props as they're needed, new vocabulary words, certainly supporting cooperative play, giving children the words to use to get along with each other, scaffolding any learning that's going on, and then modeling cleaning up the area. That is often the hardest. Some would ask, what doesn't a child learn when playing and building with blocks? Use of the imagination, the ability to make something, learning geometry, sizes, shapes, weights, balances, heights, depth, fine and gross motor development, communicating ideas through language, sharing, cooperation, teamwork, counting, physics, balancing, and stacking. So I hope you've learned that integrating construction play into your curriculum is much more than just block play.